Hi, I'm Steve Sanders, Director of Photography for the Kansas City Chiefs, and these are our photo team's top photos of the year. Number 10, Where in the Grass. What I liked about this picture is just the way that, the grass is embedded in his helmet, so you could tell that he was diving, making tackles, low to the ground. And just the look in his eye, you can just tell that he's feeling that emotion. This play happened inside the numbers. I'm also on a knee while I was shooting that picture. It just allowed him to be really close and have that up angle. So it really wasn't a challenge to get that, but he framed up just at a perfect distance. The tones just worked really well together. You could see right into his eye, the green of the grass on the glove, that grass stain and the contrast with the red. I just think it really worked. And that was one of the things that I really liked about this portrait. Number 9. Even in defeat, it was a bad day, but even when things are going wrong as a photographer, you still have to do your job. You still have to document history and tell a story. That's one of those things about being a photographer is, you are watching these moments happen through your lens, and you're taking in the good and you're taking in the bad, and just continuing to work and not stopping to watch the moment, I think, is what separates real professionals. This was a great photo. It was one of the ones that we had transmitted to AP during the game, and it was selected as one of the top 25 photos of the Super Bowl. So I thought we had to include this in our top 10. You can just see, you can tell how disappointed Xavier is. He's got the towel over his head, the confetti's falling behind him. Coming up to Hollywood, I'm sure that conversation is we're going to be back again. We're going to work, and we're going to get back, and we're going to redeem this loss. Commit his teammates, leave his family, I think's the saying on the wall. And this is a real family moment. It's two brothers just coming together to support one another and encourage one another. Number 8, Travis is a blur. This picture was taken technically by Kyle. It was a remote camera that we talked about, he and I, and this was during a time lapse. It was the first time that we had the LED lights on in the stadium, so we just had all kinds of ideas of what we wanted to try. I wanted a player running out through the tunnel with a blur. We got a little bit of that and kind of see the duplicate Travis as he's running out through the frame, and he's even all the way out at the end. The exposure was really long. It was 20-second exposure, so it was his whole time coming out through the smoke. This was by far the best one, just the way the colors worked, the direction, everything just kind of worked together on this one. Photo number 7 from the fans' view. On game day, Kyle is everywhere. He's running around the upper bowl, the lower bowl. I can't even imagine how many steps he logs on game day. This was in pregame, and Charles came running down the field and just stopped right there and gave a yell. And Kyle had positioned himself not knowing that this was going to happen, but found a nice view there between the fans cheering. And he made a great image. It's got great lines. The player is clean, which is one of the things that we always try to achieve. And I think that it just puts yourself right in, like you were sitting there watching this moment happen. Photo number 6 this year, Sack Nation's in the house. Chris, with kind of his signature move, his hand to his ear, he's just, kind of emerged from the fog and a little bit of smoke up here in the top. I think this picture is just fun. It's got a nice color tone to it. It's got the red and the yellow, and it was just a fun run out picture. It's so much different than what we've been able to get in past years. One of the things I really liked about this was how the 95 was repeating on the ribbon board, and then the third repetition of that is right into Chris's chest. And it almost lines up perfectly with where that needed to be. Again, this is one where we really took advantage of the right side third, and I think it just allows the viewer just to kind of follow the left side to the right side and get to the subject. Photo number 5, Stealing Gold. This was out in San Francisco. It was a great day out there. The weather was great that day. The California light, it just comes in at a different angle, it seems like, than it does anywhere else, and it's just nice and it's warm and makes nice pictures. This photograph happened right after Hicks's first interception, and he went running all the way down the field the opposite way. We always try to keep a goalie back at the other end just in case this situation happens, somebody runs one back to the house, or a great celebration. All the emotion, the guys jumping in the back, just made a great diamond pyramid of the players. Just, you can tell how much fun they're having just by looking at the picture. From the day we saw this, I knew this was going to be one of the top 10 photos of the year. She had a good string of this, 10, 12 frames, and this one was just perfect. The guys are in the gaps, everybody's sharp, the light was nice, it's got a dark background going on. We had this from the other side, we had the actual pick, and I thought that was great till I saw this. This was amazing. Photo number 4, a tear. You can just tell that there's a lot of emotion going through his mind. He's just focused, and he and I are having an eye-to-eye moment here. He is staring a hole through my soul, it looks like. We're pretty close. I'm probably like 4 feet. I don't want to get in their space too much, but some of the guys, who you can get closer to than others during this portion of the game. When you're only there for a split second and trying to find those little moments, and when you get right there in front of Chris, he's focusing, so you don't want to get in his line of sight too long, but you pop up, you make the frame, and you get out. Or the black and white really did enhance the tier. When you look at this in color, it's got the general stadium color behind him, the seats and the fans. It's got a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red back there, and it just really didn't separate it like it did when it went to black and white. I mean, just from the detail in the tier coming down, or the detail in his goatee, or the fabric, it just really kind of has a lot of feeling to it and a lot of texture. The number 3 photo this year, the block off. There wasn't much time left in the game. I walked by one of our producers, Dane, and I said, I don't think we've got this one today. He looked at me and said, we're gonna win. And I just kind of shook my head and walked away, but he was right. It was such a play, you can just look, the guard is on his back, and the picture just getting the ball right on his hand, for sure that's not gonna make it. You can never give up on the play. You've got to stay focused when you're looking through the lens and watching everything evolve, not get distracted by the enormity of the situation. I'm sure that in Sam's mind, he thought that he was just shooting a field goal that was just gonna win the game, and we were gonna walk off the field, go do some handshake photos, and go pack up our gear. But this turned into such an epic moment. This is photo number 2, the win after the block. This was the reaction. Running down the field like a little boy, just like, he is so happy, and the whole team just exploded. We have great emotional pictures of so many different guys, but just this emotion of Pat off the ground, grass flying up, hair flying, he looks so happy. Photo 1, the top photo of the year by a toe. I've looked everywhere, and this seems to be about the only frame of this that I've seen. Our home opener, big moment. It was originally ruled a touchdown, and then after review overturned for his toe being out of bounds. Kind of started a trend of a little bit of our season of how we had some last second wins, and able to get that first one out of the way on the opener was huge. So she was in the end zone near the back corner pylon, and we kind of knew that if anything was going to happen, was it going to be a pass breakup to win? Was it going to be a touchdown to lose? We had people positioned on both sides of the end zone. So she was right in the right spot, which allowed her to get this frame. This was the hardest year we've had to pick a top 10. We shoot hundreds of thousands of frames, and we put out top shots every week after every game. But to go back through them at the end of the year and really look at what we captured and the story that we told from training camp to the Super Bowl, I really think that it puts it all in perspective. And we had it narrowed down to 16, and then it's like, man, how do we get this 16 to 10? Hopefully we told a good story, and the fans love it.